Hey guys, welcome to TST Garage. I'm Bart, and today in this video I'll be showing you how to install the TST Industries brake light modulator on your bike. Now, a brake light modulator, sometimes called a strobe, sometimes called a brake light flasher, what it does is basically enables you to install some electronics on your bike so that when you press your brakes, the brake light flashes in some kind of pattern and alerts the drivers behind you that you will be stopping. Our particular brake light modulator comes pre-wired to a plug that interfaces with a sub harness that we provide specific to your bike model that enables plug-and-play functionality with your bike. So that means that the installation is really fast and you can do it yourself. Now, the electronics inside, we do have the ability for you to program this unit to 3 different functions and then subsequently adjust the rate of the effect to your liking. Our first programmable mode is Strobe Alert. This mode will produce 9 flashes and then stay solid for the duration of the brake engagement. Second one is Intermittent Pulsar. Each cycle will flash 10 times and then pause, and then these cycles will repeat for the duration of the brake engagement. The last available option is Pulsar, and this one just basically provides continuous flashing for the duration of the brake engagement. Now we will show you how to install this. It's really simple, and then after the installation chunk, I will show you in detail how to get inside here, how to program the different modes, and how to alter the rate of those different modes. We did think about the safety of such devices during the design phase, so we decided to design this in a way that it will be a pass-through component. In case you experience a failure on board here, it will just pass through your normal brake function, which means you press your brake light lights up, there's just no effect. In case you do experience that failure, we do offer a warranty, so we have guys standing by in our support department that will take your call, email, Facebook message, whatever, and we'll get you replaced. And that's pretty much it. Now, I'm really excited to show you guys just how easy this is to put on and configure. So let's get started. For this presentation, we got ourselves a pretty stockish 450 SS. As you can see, we only did a fender eliminator on it along with the rear signal replacement. We will need to get in under the passenger seat, remove the driver's seat, take the top of the tail off, and then we will be using a vehicle-specific harness to plug our taillight through and then connect to our brake light modulator. It's very, very simple. The most complexity in this is just the removal in the proper order. So let's get started. We're going to begin the process by removing the passenger seat using the key. Once that comes off, we need to take this seat off, peel back the rear portion, use a 5mm Allen. Now we've exposed several fasteners. We have 2 Phillips head fasteners here, 4 more up here. Let's remove those. Switch back to the 5mm. Take this fastener out. And in addition, there will be a fastener here and also here. Same head as this one, 5mm Allen. And these 2 here. I'd like to point your attention to the difference in these fasteners. This one has a longer shoulder and is M6 and belongs up here. The M5 with the shorter shoulder belongs here and in the 3 additional locations here. Once all these fasteners have been removed, the top of the tail is ready to come up. I go to the forward section, pry up on it, and there will be a series of snaps that come undone, and it just pulls right up. I am going to move this helmet strap back here. This just keeps it out of the way for us, and this bundle of wires here within this boot is where all of the tail lighting components are connected. Undo the reusable wire tie, and we'll need to access this connector. This Sumitomo 3-position connector disengages via this little clip there. You need to pry that away and pull out the male socket. Now we can grab our brake light modulator and just plug it right through. It just has the matching plugs. There's only one way to fit it in here. I like to power up the bike real quick, make sure that what I just connected is operating. Okay, that's looking good. And at this point, we need to find a home for the body of this brake light modulator. Before we do that, let's go ahead and get our connectors situated in here. We can try to fit them in this boot. The boot is pretty tightly filled. So what I'm going to do is just get my additional connector from this wiring setup underneath the harness boot here. That will keep it in place for us. Get my wire tie up above this bundle. Distribute any bulk to your satisfaction, and then cinch it down so that it doesn't move around and risk being damaged from vibration down the road. All right, now, if you are not programming this, just go ahead and follow my next steps. If you do want to program this, it'll require the removal of the cap and going through the programming functions that is depicted at the end of this video. So please watch the entire video before you commit to anything. Let's quickly check where our seat rests on the frame. Okay, it looks like these rubber pads sit right about here. So this tube back here is very good for our mounting of this brake light modulator body. As you can see, we do have a channel here that we use with the wire ties like so to keep that situated and not slipping out. I like to have the cap towards the top. If there were to be any water penetration into the bike, it'll flow down and away from the wiring and will never enter the circuit area. So this is why I recommend going upwards with the cap. We ship these systems with 2 wire ties. In some cases, 1 is enough. I do believe that 1 is enough here. If you do want to use the additional one, you could cinch this off here to the bottom tube. Do not put anything across the top here. That's where the seat will rest on the frame. I will just leave it this way. I like the way it is. Let's go ahead and get everything back together in the reverse order of disassembly. And that's it. For mode selection and rate adjustment, we will need to get inside this capsule to access the electronics. These 2 Phillips head screws will need to be removed. What I like to do is unscrew them until they disengage from their receiving threads and leave them in the cap. Otherwise, it's pretty easy to lose them. If we pull them off with the cap, they are self-captive. All right, now we'll identify the parts here. This button is the mode selector, and this potentiometer is your rate adjuster. Clockwise is faster, counterclockwise is slower. Let's first do our selection of modes. With the brake pressed, press the button once to toggle to the next available program. Now the brake does have to be pressed so that the unit powers up, otherwise you won't be able to make the selection. If you find that you've pressed the button but the selection has not been changed, just do it again with the brake pressed. So now we will go on to the next program, press the brake once more, press the button once, and now you're in the next mode. Now we've switched twice, so pressing it one more time will return to the original mode that your unit arrived in. Now for rate adjustment, we'll be using the potentiometer. With the brake pressed, we can turn it clockwise to make it go faster, counterclockwise to decrease the rate. Now in brake alert, you will only have 9 flashes to make your adjustment, and then it'll stay solid. This one doesn't actually lend itself to really fast flashing at the top of the range. Bottom of the range is unusable, so I like to set it somewhere towards 3/4 to maybe 80% clockwise, and that does it for me. Now if we change to the next one, this one is pulsar, and this one just keeps on flashing, so I like to have it going pretty fast here. Choice is really up to you. If you want to explore the next mode, we have the intermittent pulsar. This one to me belongs somewhere close to the top of the range, makes it the most visible. But again, freedom means choice. The decision is ultimately up to you. Once you're done with your adjustment and you're where you want to be with all your modes and rates, replace the cap, turn the screws back in, and it really is just that simple. Replace your brake light modulator in the space that you decided to keep it, and you're good to go.